I'm looking for fighters right now. I want to know which Democrats are going to be on the front lines pushing back against this MAGA nonsense. I'll tell you who. People like Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. Let's take a look at what she said at a hearing yesterday that was titled Oversight of FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, which the MAGA Republicans were using to try to attack FEMA and spread conspiracy theories. Here, watch this. Play the clip.
It's my understanding, I'm sorry, you're right, that over 671,000 households impacted by Hurricane Helene have received over $503 million from FEMA's Serious Needs Program, and over 218,000 households impacted by Hurricane Milton have received over $145 million. Yet and still, we had members on this committee. It looks like we had, there were 82 members that opposed the bill to fund when we knew that this was coming, thanks to NOAA. And 19 of the 26 Republicans on this oversight committee voted against the bill to keep FEMA funded, and 9 are in states that were directly hit. I don't understand why we come in and pretend that we have all these issues with your agency, and I thank you for your service, when you don't want to fund it.
Next up, we have Democratic Congresswoman Ramirez from Illinois' 3rd Congressional District. Here she is calling out some of the MAGA Republicans who sit on this committee with her, saying, like, you all are trying to find jobs in the federal government, working for Donald Trump, your dear leader, but you hate the federal government? I mean, what are you talking about? Here, play this clip.
For it. In another post, you say we should destroy the federal government and that the federal government is the enemy. I find that odd, considering you were once a federal employee and you've been begging to come back into the incoming Trump administration for a new job. Lastly, you posted that the federal government is the epicenter of pedophilia. An outright falsehood, with perhaps the exception of Trump's stellar attorney general pick.
Next up, we have Democratic Congresswoman AOC. Here she's talking to the FEMA administrator, who's one of the witnesses who the MAGAs called to attack. And here AOC is debunking all of Trump and MAGA's lies about FEMA. Play this clip.
Another one that I also saw very widely circulated, that FEMA did not have enough money to provide relief services because that allocation of funds went to either undocumented immigrants, aid to Ukraine, or even aid to the Israeli government. Is that correct, that FEMA's funds were allocated away to those causes?
Completely inaccurate.
Completely false. On the record, completely false. Correct.
Correct.
Here is AOC again from that same committee hearing. Let's play it.
I'd previously served several terms on the Financial Services Committee, which also has jurisdiction over the authorizations around the National Flood Insurance Program. And a lot of people don't know that the maps for the NFIP and what is considered a flood zone or not are tied to flood maps from before the federal government even acknowledged that climate change is real. And so we are allocating flood insurance from before these areas became flood zones that are now flood zones. And so historically, there's been a great deal of Republican resistance to updating these maps. My hope is that we can do that now.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump and the other Oompa Loompas were at a SpaceX event with the co-president Elon Musk. I mean, just take a look. This is what MAGA Republican Congress members were doing. Marjorie Taylor Greene stayed back in Washington, D.C. And here she talks about doing a purge. And she talks about a purge coming to Washington, D.C. Here, listen to this. Let's play it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. While Democrats are complaining about this lengthy hearing and about President Trump coming in and slashing and reducing the size of government, I just want to say let the purge begin, because there's people that are homeless right now in Western North Carolina, Eastern Tennessee, Georgia. And it's not, misinformation is not the most dangerous thing facing us. It's right now pretty much the federal government and the failure to the American people.
Our friend of the show, Raja Krishnamurthy from Illinois, here he talks about, again, more debunking of all of the MAGA lies. He's great in these committee hearings. Congressmember Krishnamurthy, play this clip.
Good. It's an atmospheric research facility in Alaska that, believe it or not, conspiracy theorists allege is a mind-controlling weather machine. And one of the conspiracy theories out there is that somehow FEMA controls the weather. And I assume that you, as the administrator, do not control the weather, right?
I do not control the weather.
And you don't use secret machines to control hurricanes to target certain places in the United States, right?
Correct.
And you and your team did not direct severe weather at North Carolina to, quote unquote, commandeer lithium mine property in that state, right?
Why would anybody want to bring harm to the American people?
And you would not direct severe weather to target anyone of a particular political party, right?
Never.
You're not establishing FEMA camps to detain individuals or enact martial law, right?
Correct.
These are all conspiracy theories that you've had to deal with.
Need a break from the crowded stores and endless gift lists? This holiday season, restore your zen and embrace the natural power of cannabis with Via. Whether you're having a cozy night in or joining the festive celebrations, Via's premium THC and THC-free gummies could help you find that perfect holiday balance. Via is known for its award-winning THC and THC-free gummies, vapes, THCA flower, soothing topicals, and calming drops, all crafted with high-quality hemp sourced from trusted, independently owned American farms. And the best part, Via legally ships to nearly all U.S. states in discreet packaging directly to your door with a worry-free guarantee, no medical card required. I've been using Via's gummies and they've been amazing for unwinding after a long day. The balance between relaxation and focus has been perfect, and it's so refreshing to know I'm using a product that's organic, vegan, and crafted with care. The Dreams Sleep Gummies really have been a game changer to help me unwind after a chaotic day. With Via, you're unlocking the power of nature. They're the only lifestyle hemp brand that combines hemp with active plant extracts for targeted effects. From better sleep and boosted mood to products for focus or relaxation, they've got something for everyone. Plus, they offer a range of THC levels, so whether you're looking for a mild microdose or a stronger effect, they've got you covered. This holiday season, gift yourself some peace of mind. If you're 21 or over, check out the link to Via in our description and use the code MEIDAS, M-E-I-D-A-S, to receive 15% off. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Enhance your everyday with Via this holiday season.
Then you've got MAGA Republican Congressmember Burleson, and he talks about how he's excited for Elon Musk to work in a fake agency called Doge because he says that Washington, D.C. needs an enema. An enema, they say. So everybody, all the federal employees will get enemas from Elon Musk and a fake agency called Doge. Play this clip.
And I can't wait for Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency, to get in under the next administration and start making this government work more efficiently. Because this town does need a purge. This town needs an enema. And honestly, I can't wait.
Democratic Congresswoman Stansbury. She's from the great state of New Mexico. Here she talks about something that should be a very basic principle, which is that we should not use people as props and pawns in political games. That the goal of emergency relief is to provide emergency relief and not do what Trump and the MAGAs want to do. Play this clip.
And absolutely, under no condition should politics be the reason why someone is denied basic dignity, access to emergency resources, and comity by our colleagues, whether that's emergency aid in their homes or access to the bathroom here in the Capitol.
Oh, and then we have Lauren Boebert right here questioning the FEMA administrator. Take a watch at so pathetic. Play this clip.
So when Elon Musk is furious that he can't get Starlink delivered to folks, when I have Congressman Corey Mills, who has to deploy a mission team to bring 26 systems of Starlink to those who are suffering, when the missing persons list is 1,500 people before Starlink is brought to them by a sitting member of Congress, not by FEMA, and that number goes down to 600 once communication is able to begin, when a member of Congress has to bring 26 3,000 pounds of supplies. When Elon Musk is saying we want to get internet, we want to get connectivity and communication to citizens, we want to bring supplies, and yet FEMA is blocking supplies. FEMA is seizing supplies. When I have a senior high school student from Rifle, Colorado, Cody Wyatt, who is driving across country to get supplies because FEMA hasn't been seen in 11 days in North Carolina or in Pensacola, Florida, when they aren't present, can citizens help, or is FEMA going to continue to block private citizens and refuse to help those based on their political affiliation?
FEMA has never blocked any assistance from moving around any of the states that were impacted. In fact, when Mr. Musk released that statement, we had over 70 Starlink satellite terminals in and around North Carolina, exceeding what he
For
had
11
already
days,
said.
Congressman Corey Mills did not see a single FEMA representative or truck. And I have witnesses as well in Florida who did not see any help from FEMA for days.
We
I
were
would
on
like
the
there to
ground
be,
before the disaster started.
we'll see
You
in your
can read in
investigation.
my testimony.
We'll
I
see
have-
in your investigation
I have
if it's ever
details
released.
in my testimony, my written testimony that shows our exact response. You can read the details there.
Before I recognize Mr. Burleson, ranking member.
Elsewhere on Capitol Hill, you have Senator Lisa Murkowski, a Republican from Alaska, saying that the Senate is not going to forfeit their advice and consent function, whereby they hold hearings regarding Donald Trump's nominees. In other words, that it's not just that they're, at least she's not just going to let Donald Trump do recess appointees. Here, play this clip.
I would like to see our committees do their full job. I'm not interested in a process that would just say, well, because the president has named him and you have Republican chairs coming into the new Congress, we just move people out. There needs to be legitimate vetting. When I say legitimate, I mean just thorough vetting that the committees do. This is our job.
I'm going to do a whole other video on this one right here, but the MAGA Republicans led by Nancy Mace spent most of the last 48 hours attacking their colleague, Congresswoman McBride. She's from the at-large district in Delaware. Congresswoman McBride is the first trans woman in Congress, so naturally the MAGA Republicans want to bully Congresswoman McBride and make her work environment just entirely impossible. That's how the MAGA Republicans are spending their time, bullying a colleague and a coworker. Play this clip.
One thing I know the left will say in response to what you just said is, well, it's horrific that you were subjected to any abuse or assault, any of it. But are you intimating that this new congressman-elect would somehow assault you in the bathroom? That would be the argument.
The idea of a man walking into a locker room where I'm changing is actually, it feels like assault. I am a victim. I have PTSD from the trauma that I have endured at the hands of a man. And I'm going to stand in the way solidly of any guy that wants to come into our spaces. And guess what? Sarah McBride doesn't get a say in this. And I'm not gonna succumb or be silenced by bullies online or by the radical left. They lost big. And I'm going to push back harder than ever before.
It should be noted that you see how flimsy any type of strain of logic is with these MAGAs. When Trump was in office, their policy at first was transgender people can use whatever bathroom they want, was actually what Trump said then. But now that Trump and the MAGAs view bullying the trans community as a winning issue, all in on bullying human beings and treating the trans community without basic self-respect and mockery and just horrific stuff that we've been hearing. MAGA Republican Senator Lindsey Graham from South Carolina says he's asked about Matt Gaetz's allegations, and we know that there's this very credible ethics report with very specifics about the allegations of Matt Gaetz sex trafficking children. And for Lindsey Graham, though, like many MAGA Republicans, it's like That's just media reports. You can't listen to everything you hear on the media. That's where Lindsey Graham is going with. Play this clip.
These serious allegations involving sexual misconduct with Matt Gaetz, including sex with someone who's underage. Is he qualified to be Attorney General?
Nobody should be disqualified because of a media report.
I've already talked to him. I mean, he just said, listen, he wants a shot to be able to lay out his vision for the department and also to respond to these various allegations. And, you know, I said, hey, the confirmation hearing is the place and chance to do that.
And that last comment coming from Senator Josh Hawley, who spoke to Matt Gaetz last week. Gaetz himself also called Lindsey Graham to try to talk to him as well. An effort to try to consolidate Republican support, which is soft at the moment. And tomorrow, Jake, Gaetz, along with Vice President-elect J.D. Vance, will be on Capitol Hill meeting with Republican senators, including Senator John Kennedy, who sits on that key Senate Judiciary Committee, all in an effort to get Republicans to fall in line, even as a number of Republicans are concerned about this nomination.
Manu, could we just say in very clear terms, folks, that right now, before our eyes, the MAGA Republicans are doing everything they can to cover up child sex trafficking allegations against someone who Donald Trump appointed, nominated to be Attorney General? Like, one of the things that we should learn, repetition. You know, it's great to have great policies that help people, but you got to repeat the stuff over and over again. You got to say it in terms that people understand. You just got to say it. The MAGA Republicans are covering up a sex trafficking allegation against someone who's being nominated to be Attorney General. Sex trafficking, bad. Sex trafficking children. You just have to keep on saying that. That's what they're doing. Republicans support the sex trafficking of children then, if they're okay with this. That's what Republicans support. Republicans support it. Got to repeat it over and over and over again. That's just the way it works. Repetition. Speaking of these hearings, here's Congressmember Jared Moskowitz right here. And I know there's been a lot of people saying, you know, Congressmember Moskowitz has been, you know, making some comments about Elise Stefanik and others, and well, what's going on there? I'll just say this, you know, Congressmember Moskowitz, I think still at these hearings is going to be an important, very, very, very important asset at these hearings. And, you know, he's from Florida, so in a district that's a swingy type district, but, you know, he's an advocate on these hearings for pro-democracy. He really is. Like this was him yesterday. This is just an example. I just think we need more of this right now. Here, play this clip.
And so I do want to say one more thing, because I think it's tremendously important for my colleagues across the aisle and my Democratic colleagues. It is so important that we don't allow FEMA to become politicized, and that we don't allow disaster aid to become politicized. Laser beams do not start fires in California. We cannot guide where hurricanes go. And you know what? You know who's amplifying that stuff? Foreign accounts. Other countries are amplifying that stuff on social media to divide us, to divide Democrats and Republicans. They want us fighting over disaster aid because it helps their goal. We can't participate in that. We shouldn't amplify that.
Well, anyway, thanks for watching. We're always going to keep you updated about what's going on the Hill. This is your destination for that, folks. Hit subscribe. I want to get to 4 million subscribers together. Can we get there together? Hopefully. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.